So we need to talk about, I just want to go through all of this because you're going to do another one that's similar to this. So we kind of, some of you were close, but not quite. Some of you got it. Says, describe what you know for sure about the actions of this dolphin, the time interval from 0 to 6 seconds. Can you determine the horizontal distance the dolphin traveled in that time interval? Explain why or why not. Okay, so if we look at our two axes, the x-axis is time, and the y-axis is height, and it says distance from the water's surface. Okay. So the first part says, can you determine the horizontal distance? No, I can't. I can't determine the horizontal distance because all they're telling me is how long and how high. It doesn't say anything about how long. Did he go flying for long distance, or was he in one of these, you know, little tanks and just popping up and down? We don't know. But we know that, you know, when he's above the water or when he's below the water and all that kind of stuff. Where do you find the values for which f of t? So f of t, so this is the same thing, remember, as y. So when does y equal 0? Well, it equals 0 there, equals 0 there, equals 0 there, and it equals 0 there. And explain what it means in the context of this problem. It would be the times when the dolphin's either leaving the water or entering the water. Transition between water and air. Or this is where the harpoon finally got him. Okay. So what was that? No? That was that extra line I deleted. Okay. How long was the dolphin swimming underwater? Well, that would be from this point, 6 to 16, so 10 seconds. Maximum height that he jumped in the 24-second time period, well, it would be up here. So what does that look like? 20, what are these by? 5, 10, they're by 5, so maybe 22, 23, somewhere in there. I would have accepted 22 or 23 feet. That's really high. That's over a 2-story building. That's like crazy steroid dolphin.
Actually, isn't that higher in the school?
No, definitely not this side. This side's a 3-story.
Actually, we looked it up because we were wondering how high they can jump. They can actually hit about 25 feet in real life. So.
Yeah, I mean, dolphins can jump. So here it says, locate the point where f of t, or y, equals negative 50. Okay, it looks like about right there. And explain what information the coordinate of the point gives you in this context. So it would be at 11 seconds, he was 50 feet deep. Oh, I suppose that should be PC. Them was. They was.
They were.
No, because it's only one of them. It. Do you want to be referred to as an it?
I mean, that's just fine with me.
I know the pronoun game. It's like them, they, isn't it? He, she, or yeah, him, her, he, him, she, her, them, they. So at 11 seconds, them was. Yeah, I don't know how we play this pronoun game well. So anyway, how about the dolphin? Well, what if the dolphin doesn't identify as a dolphin?
Identifies as a T-Rex.
It is, yes. By the way, if this was a T-Rex, how terrifying would that be? All of a sudden, you're looking out in the ocean, this giant Tyrannosaurus Rex comes out 25 feet out of the water. Yeah. Okay. So, table, Andrew stock, blah, 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 blah. what kind of function could model this data? Well, if I look at it, it looks like it goes up and then goes back down. So quadratic. Assuming it isn't quadratic, how much did he invest initially? Well, kind of a tricky question. Yeah, he 225 would be his initial investment, because if it is quadratic, then 405 here was the top, and then you had 385 on either side, and then you would have had 325 on either side, and that in 2-month periods. So it would have been this 225. That would have been his initial investment, because this was at 6 months, 4 months, 2 months, 0 months.
And then before he invested, he somehow had less money than he
Yes.
had.
Yeah, that's why they always like talk about domain, because they talk about what makes sense. It wouldn't make sense to go back before 0 months. So, you know, before he started. Was the maximum value of the stock 405? It took 6 months. If it continues quadratic, do you advise you sell? At this point, his stocks are truly not worth anything. At this point, somewhere in between the 14th and the 16th month, his stocks weren't worth the paper they were printed on. So,
Sell it and gain what money back
So-
you can.
oh no, I mean, you've already lost. You're done.
You can't sell something for negative money.
Yeah, you actually owe more.
For selling.
It's worth less than when you bought it. So to get rid of it, you pay more. Yeah. A lot of people just did that with, who was it that just took an absolute, was it Tesla that just split, and then everybody thought they'd go up, but a lot of people took a bath this last week, and I think it was Tesla's stock. But yeah, you can actually buy a stock and owe more later. Yeah, it's the dangers of stock.
So who's buying it and selling it?
The market's buying it, or I mean, you still have, like, if let's say this was, you bought it at 225. I mean, it's not going to go into the negatives necessarily. You bought it at 225 and now it's worth 5. You have this negative equity of all that loss. And yeah, you can end up, all your money's gone.
So my uncle bought
Have a
like
good day.
$10,000 in oil, and he's up 25% market, well, 24.30.
You must have bought it in a company, because oil's worth nothing right now. Oil is literally at $0 a barrel right now.
Why?
Surplus. We have more of it because this pandemic hit. So less people were driving, so less fuel was consumed. So gas, if you look at oil, it's literally at $0 a barrel. It's
It's
not.
like at 83 cents a barrel.
They can't get rid of it. Like it's just sitting there.
They can't get rid of it fast enough.
Yeah. So consumption went down 75%. So that was huge. All right. So how fast is it decreasing between 10 and 12? All right. So that's slow. 225 minus 325 over 12 minus 10. That's negative 100 over 2. So that's at negative 50. That's hundreds of dollars per month.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's very, very not good. Find another 2-month interval where the average rate of change is faster than that. What? That interval's faster. Because that would be what? 220. So that would be negative 110. So that interval between 16 and 18 is faster. Because it's negative 110. Are there 2-month intervals where the rate of change is the same? Yeah, just find one that's got the 100 difference again. So it'd be between 0 and 2 would be the same. I don't think any other ones are the same, are they?